Okay, just now I woke up from sleep paralysis, and yep, it was pretty scary. And like classic sleep paralysis, you couldn't move. But the dream was about. It wasn't scary at first. Actually, it was very. The dream was. It was very fun. Um, but if I were to remember the dream, it was about. What was that about? Pretty sure the time was um, Halloween, but it wasn't really Halloween. Just the day. It was the Day of the Dead, I think, or yeah, Halloween or something. Yeah, it was Halloween, but the memory speaks not about Halloween, but just the day or what day it was. Okay, and so I was walking down the streets. Actually, it was the time setting was it wasn't clear, was it? It was around it when it gets before dark. So I'm guessing around 5:30 or 6 o'clock or around it that time when it gets dark, but not too dark when everything's gray. So um, yeah, it was just outside of our house, really. Not really outside of our house. Um, it was at the side of the streets. Not outside of our house. At the streets, and not and so at first it wasn't really scary. The first part of the dream, I remember that we were preparing so that we can go to church. I'm guessing we can go to church, and then the second half was, everyone took a bath, and I took mine, and it was really fast. I just assumed that I took the bath and that it was someone else's turn to bath, and then after, for some reason, after I was done taking a bath, I left the house, and then I went somewhere. I ran. Actually, I ran, and I ran really fast. It was a dream. And then I ran really fast. And so, yeah, I went to a store called Prince. It's a hard Prince warehouse. Yeah, it's a warehouse. Yeah. So I went there, and then when I reached there, it was already 6 o'clock, meaning the time turned to night. I didn't really realize this, and so after that point, I met with, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but yeah, it was closed. It was dark, almost dark, and then I returned home. Actually, the Prince warehouse is not really that far away from here, so yeah, I'm not sure. I felt that I went with two other people on the dream, but I'm not sure. I met up with somebody on the way home, and then when we were going back home, I stopped at a shop. Yeah, there was a shop on the side of the street, and there was this girl, and then she was, just like a vendor on the side of the street. and I came up to her. I looked at her shop, and at that point, well, it was just, what did we do? I don't know. We just, if I were to describe what we did, we just chill. We hang out. I hang out, hanged out with someone who I just met, and we were hanging out pretty nice. We were getting along in the dream. Yep, we were getting along, and then for some reasons, the time setting in my mind is afternoon. So from night, I remember it, this point in time, it's afternoon. It's not really dark in my, pretty dark in my memory, and then yeah, what I remember playing with water guns with her. For some reason, it was, yeah, it was raining. It was raining. Her merchandise was, I forgot, was out the streets. Um, yeah, in another video, I'll show the scene where it happened, I guess, because it's really not really far from here. It's just on the side of the streets. It just happened, and then after that, we hit it off. For some reason, my sister and my cousin appeared in it. Okay, and so take note that this kind of where I met that vendor girl, which I will remember later, which actually made me really, really scared. Um, I remember I was in a sleep paralysis mode, so everything was not gone, but it really felt real because I felt it real time. And so after that, kind of her store was her merchandise was just beside Julie Metro Plaza, a store that burned down some time ago. I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, a year, or yeah, basically it burned down. And her store was there. On my way home from the Prince Warehouse store, I met her there, and then when I looked for her merchandise, talked to her, and then for some reason I hanged out with her. And then after that, when we hanged out, we had fun, all smiles and gone. We were um, teasing each other. After that, I remember Emily. Oh yeah, I spilled her name. For some reason, I remembered her name as Emily, but I didn't remember it at that time in my dream. The third phase of the dream that I remember was, with the thing with that girl, the vendor, which is Emily. After that, it was raining and I went. For some reason, my cousin appeared, Lawrence, and then my sister as well. And then they went inside. They went inside of um, the the burnt store, Julie met her, and then they went inside, and then when they came inside, it was a different place already. In my dream, the place became it's not a pool, but there was a pool of water, but I figured it was rainwater. And the place was just, you at first you we climbed up, um, so the structure of the store got altered in my memory, and so the first was we went inside because it was covered with fence, so people wouldn't trespass anymore. It was the same with my memory, but when we went inside, I remember the memory of climbing up, and then what I saw in my dream inside was that there was a party inside, and people were swimming. People were, there were DJs, there were music. I don't think if there was music, but I'm pretty sure there was a platform and there were people playing music, and then there were people swimming at the pool caused by the rain. And yeah, I didn't really join them, I just watched. But my sister and Lawrence uh, went in, and then after that, I sat in the back. No, I didn't sit at the back, I just sat at the entrance, and I looked at everywhere. And yep, I can't describe the scenario very much, but the memory was that people were swimming. There was a very huge pool, and if I were let me describe the scenario. I'll try. It was night. The time is dark. The water is not really like a pool because the water is, kind of like green. It was green, not totally green, but a bit clean, just dirty with mud. And it was nighttime. And if you combine that, imagine the scenario, you can see the water would be dark as well as the place, but there were a bit of lights. I don't know, bit of lights in there, and so it was not really dark, but there was very little light. It was dark, but there was light just enough to illuminate the place. And then after that, I also heard people screaming my name. They called me. If I remember who called me, it was Atitanet, and then Kay, my cousins, and yeah, I'm not sure about the rest anymore. But yeah, I remember some people called me, and then, yep, that was the third phase. It was dark and it was raining and people were swimming. I was just at the back getting hit by the rain. The next phase is father's friends were there. You know, father's friends were there, and then they were playing ball. They were playing with a basketball, and when someone threw the ball high, it was raining, and then he hit a power line, or what do you call those things? That are those electric wires? Yeah, and things turned scary there. Okay, that was when I first realized that was when I first felt fear in my dream, because the ball hit the wires, and then it cut, and then it was just a dream. But I was watching the power lines coming straight to me, like the feeling was it was gonna fall onto me. Okay, and then but it didn't. I just watched it and it went past me. I was crouching down. I was like doing this just, and then the power lines came down, and then it swayed. And what happened was when it swayed past, I quickly ran down. Okay, I ran down, and then for some reason in my mind it was gonna come back, right? So I really went down. I ran hard down, and did it. I don't remember much of the next part. I wasn't really sure if I got hit or not, but the dream changed. The dream really changed. It changed. Oh, so when was this? Phase 1 was I was running to Prince. The phase 2 was I went home. I met with Emma, the girl. Then the phase 3 was I phase 3 was we went inside of the Julius, and this is the phase 4 where everything came south. And then yes, after that electricity incident, I remember talking to people. Emily was yes, that store was um not there anymore. Okay, not there anymore. And then there were yeah, it was the friends, father's friends. There were faces that I can't really remember now. And then at that point, what happened? I'm not sure, I forgot. And then I can't really remember what happened next. I can remember, but I'm not sure. We were talking outside. I'm not sure what we talked about, but I remember that people left me alone. Okay, the people left, and yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. That was that was the first time I felt fear, because that was the first time that I realized, for some reason, I thought about ghosts. Yeah, here's the strange part. During phase 3, I was actually recording. I had the memory of recording, like just like now, you know, and I was recording, right? It was landscape, and then while I was recording, like I see, and I was looking at the camera coming here and sway back, but I was looking into the camera's lens as the power lines or the wires, electric wires, were gonna hit me, and then I went down, and then that's that. No, I was with my friends. For some reason, Lawrence was in there, and then I didn't remember any time that I stopped the record, or did I? Yes. I wasn't able to remember whether I stopped the record button or not, but I did remember trying to view the video on the phone in my dream, and the strange thing was the video won't open. I really remember that the video won't open. Like when I kept clicking at first I tried pressing the gallery button on my phone, but then when I played it, the video was just me recording myself. But then, do you know that time when it's laggy, and then you see after images of yourself because it's lag, and then there's a clear part of you, and then there's an after image behind you, and then it's just really lag. I remember that the video was lagging me, but I can hear the sound of rain. I can hear the sound of people. No, not people, just noises, which I assume is from people. This was the dreamy. I assumed it was the people, but the video caught no one taking a swim, or the video caught nobody swimming in there. Okay, so yeah, there I felt fear, because somewhere in my mind that it's telling me that I'm recording, and part of me parang connected with my a memory, a real memory versus a memory from the dream connected. Like, how could that happen when the this was not the structure of the burnt store? And so I just, I started hearing voices, and then I tried to home, and then I tried to click the camera, but then the camera also just plays the video, and then there was just loud noises, and etc., etc. And then that's when really I felt fear in my dream. I felt fear there because I was hearing noises. I got nervous. I was hearing noises, and my brain was telling me that these are ghosts. But at the same time, I also stayed true to my belief that ghosts aren't real. And so, yeah, maybe it was just an error, but I was hearing sounds that you don't normally hear. And so, um, my cousin tried to uh, make me go home, or my cousin was trying to take me someplace else away from the store, or the Brits or Julie Metro Plaza. And then um, what happened next was I didn't follow him because for some reason I remembered my sister, and my memory tells me that my sister went with me, or it was the three of us, me, my cousin, and my sister, who went inside the building. And the ones who are outside are just me and Lawrence. And I couldn't just I felt a sensation that I had to go back inside and call for her. And so what happened was, it's not very clear now. There were a lot of gun. I was really nervous, so there's a lot of the only thing that I remember was our scene jumps. I went inside, and then I couldn't find my sister, and yes, I guess because of the fear, I first realized that, yeah, this is a dream. And while I was still looking for my sister, I was also trying to wake up at the same time. And then at that moment, I actually had the sensation of waking up, but it was a haze. Um, I'm waking up at the same, no, I am seeing my room. My position was, my position was like this, okay, like this, and I was just staring at that door. Okay, so I see the door, but then I can't move, I can't feel anything, and then the dream would resurface again. I would get to somewhere, and a scene would play out. I was back again at outside the Julie Metro Plaza, and this was where fear took control of me over me for the first time, because that girl was back again, and I thought to myself, nah, during this part, I am conscious. I'm already conscious. I'm aware that I am inside a sleep paralysis, and then I was just thinking that this dream is about Halloween or the Day of the Dead, and then I was seeing a girl. I was seeing a girl there, and then the moment that I saw this girl, and then I just, somewhere in my mind, I was sure that if I think about this girl now, I will carry her image or her presence inside this room, at least in the dream or somewhere in my mind. And so I really felt fear. I was stricken with fear, but at the same time I was trying to be really rational. I just kept saying myself that you are in a dream, you are under a sleep paralysis, and your fears inside sleep paralysis will not be true. And that moment I really doubted myself because I was really afraid. And then suddenly when fear struck me that I will carry her presence in my room, suddenly I was back in my room. The image, the scene changed, and it was my room. And then, yes, I was still looking at that. I was just lying down. I was looking at it. I was trying to move my hands, and then thoughts just kept coming. Like, um, yeah, it was just pure fear. I really felt that there was a very evil presence in the room. And the most scariest part here is I didn't know the name of the girl at first, but then later, as I thought about her, her name suddenly surfaced. And for some reason, thoughts came to me saying that it's Halloween and maybe she really is a ghost. And then she was trying to ask me for help. Right now, I don't feel really anything, but uh, the sensation when I just woke up, and I couldn't move. My hands were super stiff. It was super cold. I tried uh I tried exhausting myself, and then yeah. So I just yeah, and I guess that was pretty much it. So I went through around 5 stages, six, I guess. The first was, I went to the Prince Royal store and it was closed, and I came back. And the second part is on my way back, I saw a merchandise store, and then I saw a girl there, hanged out in there, talking, and that we hanged out, we spent time, it was really fun. And then the third phase was going to inside the burnt store, the Jolie Metro Plaza store. And then after that, the third phase, there was a party inside, blah, blah, blah. And then the fourth phase was I was recording myself, and then I was recording it, and then I was recording everything that happened inside the Geometry Plaza. There was a party, of course, so with my plan to record stuff, it was bound to happen. I was recording the event, and then someone played ball and then hit the power lines, the electric wires, and then it cut off. Then I was struck by fear for the first time. It's gonna hit me. If it hits me, I'll die. Then I ran down. Then yeah, I don't really remember what happens next. The next thing that I clearly remember on phase 4 was that I tried playing the video and I heard sounds. It wasn't the video that was being played, and the memory that my memory told me that it was just ghosts. I was getting a video of ghosts. And then after that, I tried to save my sister somewhere inside. Then I don't remember what happened next. So what I remember though is that I was back in my room, but I still couldn't move. I just know that I realized that I am under sleep paralysis because this wasn't the first time that I experienced sleep paralysis. I experienced it a lot of times now in this room. For the past, I experienced it. Um, Counting up to now, I guess I've experienced sleep paralysis 5 times already. Yep. So when you get used to it, yeah, when you've tried it before, you can build a resistance to it, but it's still pretty scary. And then I woke up in my room. Phase 5 is the year I realized that I'm in a sleep paralysis. And then it's just, remembering someone named Emily. I'm not sure about her face, but I really felt that there was a presence inside my room. And then that I had to wake up. And then the strangest thing about sleep paralysis is that you get the sensation that you're waking up. Like when I was just like this, I don't know how my eyes looked, but I felt my knees were like this, like this. My knees were like that, and then I keep telling my hands were like this, and my other hand was like this, or I don't know, but it's stumbling like this. And then some memory, memories told me that what I tried to did was that I tried to turn here, I tried to turn here, but then sometime later, you wake up and you see that image again. I keep seeing that image again, and then I try to feel my hands. I try to squeeze them, and then I try to turn. I try to stand up, and then when you get the sensation that you're standing up, you realize that you're looking at that wall again, and that you're still actually in here. So yeah, it was really scary. The next scary experience was later. I really felt that there was a presence. Like when you're in a sleep paralysis, all you see is that, right? But that doesn't mean that you don't have awareness around you. So even though that wall is all you see, you still get the presence. You still get the presence of mind all around your room. And so that's what happened. I really felt that the entire room was full of presence, and then yeah, and then Emily kept surfacing in my mind, like thoughts like, what if she came with a message like, this is Halloween, this is the Day of the Dead. So what if I was in a situation where a ghost was trying to contact me and her name was Emily? Because in my dream I asked myself, why would the name Emily come up? And then yes, I felt fear. The next strange thing was, I was actually sometime after a bit of a struggle, I actually gained control of myself. And so I was able to twist in here. And what I did, you know what I did the first time I was able to control myself, I was like, oh. And so being able to control myself, my hands were still very stiff. They were very stiff, and then I couldn't control it properly yet. And then I just stared at the wall, and then the next strange part is I can't move again. I got stuck in another sleep paralysis. Like, yeah, I got stuck under sleep paralysis, and I was so mad at myself because I really tried to move again, but I just kept staring at that wall like this. Like that, I was staring at the wall, and that image just gets stuck. And so yeah, but that was pretty much just an aftershock. I woke up later, and then when I regained control of myself, nah, I never stopped. I never laid down again. And I took up my phone. I was still feeling fear because of the sensation. I was still feeling fear, so the first thing I went to entertainment, the best source of entertainment for me. YouTube, YouTube and Facebook, and then just tried to watch some memes and then compilations of funny videos. And so that was it. And I decided that I couldn't get the feeling out of me, and I want to trap this memory for future purposes. And yeah, it was a very scary experience. So yep, and just another sleep paralysis experience. So yep, I guess that's it. See ya. I think that I'm forgetting a lot of details, but basically that was what all that happened in my memory. Okay, so yep, see ya.